Welcome back. Since his breakaway from Bounty Killers Alliance in 2006, the name Vybz Kartel has been shrouded in controversy. Controversy that propelled an exponential rise from aspiring artist to now the most notorious figure in dancehall.
Up to the time.
But Vybz Kartel's journey to notoriety began years before leaving the alliance. In 2003, he became the first artist in dancehall to physically attack another on stage. That assault was a Ninja Man at Sting. Upon leaving the alliance 3 years later, Kartel was embroiled in a bitter feud with former crony Mavado. The two factions, who had took on the name of their respective camps, Gaza for Kartel and Gully for Mavado, reportedly escalated the conflict with drive-by shootings and cocktail bombings, while teenage followers faced off on school campuses and the streets of Kingston. And when a peace truce was reached between Gaza and Gully in December 2009, Kartel and his former leader Bounty Killer dragged their long-standing one-on-one feud to the center, a war that led to the bottling of both artists at the recently staged Follow the Arrow. And still raging right now.
If it now go my way, me pull it up. Like the bleaching thing, it has to stop.
All the while dominating the space with chart-topping releases. Over the period, Kartel was also entangled in several other headline-grabbing variances, both in and outside the Gaza. The teacher had fallouts with members of his Gaza camp, online sex tapes, and several run-ins with law enforcers, including a 2-week detention by the Portmore police last July.
Still,
Vybz Kartel's latest controversy is neither legal nor bounty killer. It's skin bleaching. Vybz Kartel right now on stage. Our very special guest, Vybz, walking, sir.
What's
Blessed
up?
love.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, Kartel, jump in and start to talk about Follow the Arrow for us. Were you surprised at the bottling that came after you?
No, I was not. You know what I mean? I was actually expecting it. And if you watch the clippings closely of Vybz Kartel's very short stint on stage, you would actually see Vybz Kartel laughing when he was coming off the stage, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, because I was expecting it, but you know what I mean? I still had to go on stage and to show Vybz Kartel fans and the Gaza people that Kartel was actually in the building.
So why were you expecting it?
Well, because, you know, this is Jamaica, and if artist A and artist B are in a rivalry, artist A appears on stage and gets showered with a rain of bottles, you know what I mean? Well, one would expect that as a result of I would call it revenge by the fans of artist A. Artist B is going to get bottled also.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Definitely.
All right, hold a second and let's take a clip of Killer talking about that. Here we go.
There's some kids in Ochi that calls themselves Ochi Empire. I heard that they was planning from in the afternoon and drinking and saying what they gonna do if Bounty Killer calls Kartel name. Don't know how true this is. Not accusing anybody, but it's being said.
So, how do you respond to that? He's alleging that it was planned. It was the Ochi Empire that started it.
No, well, not to my knowledge. I have no prior knowledge of hearing anything about any planning of the bottling of any artist on stage. You know what I mean? Neither before nor after the fact.
Yes.
So I would say, no, I don't know anything about that.
But is there such a thing as Ochi Empire? A group down there that obviously are your supporters?
Yeah, man. Everywhere, in every parish, you have an empire. In Westmoreland, you have West Empire. In St. Anne's, you have Ochi Empire. Mobile, the same thing, and it goes on and on.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
So you went out and set them up, Kartel?
No, people just took on the name because the first set of people to have the name actually were the Ochi Empire. Yeah. And Vybz Kartel bigging them up on stage shows across the island that led to everybody in each respective parishes taking on their own names. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So how big is this war between you and Killer?
Well, I'd like to let Jamaica people know that Vybz Kartel is not in any war with any artist. You know what I mean? Vybz Kartel is just doing music, making hit songs, you know what I mean, making products, and overall just making money. Vybz Kartel has no time for any war, any feuding, or anything of that negative nature with any artist, and it has been like that for the past 2 years, since the end of the Mavado Vybz Kartel rivalry.
So you aren't answering Killers?
I'm not answering anybody. A lot of artists trying to get a hype of Vybz Kartel, you know what I mean? Because, you know, when you're at the top, a lot of people are going to try to seek to climb to the top and riding on an artist's career. That is not the case with Vybz Kartel. I won't give anyone the time of day. You know what I mean?
And even though you say you're not in any rivalry with Killer, are you in any way? Is it in any way affecting the relationship with Mavado, or the peace truce between you and Mavado?
No, because as I said before, Vybz Kartel is not in any war with anyone, so it works both ways. If I'm not in any war with Bounty Killer, how can I be in a war with his son?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But do you regard yourself as his son?
An estranged one.
But still his son.
But one nonetheless, you know what I mean?
Don't mess with me, your cartel, me son. Define your body from words side. I searching me now, beg no friend.
What credit do you give him though, Killer, for your career success?
Well, just by introducing Vybz Kartel professionally to the business, because history cannot be rewritten. It's already there for all to see, you know what I mean? And everybody knows that is where Vybz Kartel came from. But you know what I mean? When I was a child, I acted as a child. When he's a man, I put away childish thing. You know what I mean? Two bulls can't reel in a one pen, and I could go on and on and on with proverbs.
Yes.
To the effect that Vybz Kartel had to be on his own.
So you saw in 2006 that you would be a bull, and there's no way you and him can reign in the same pen.
Yeah.
And so you walked out.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Because back then, you saw yourself going to the top.
Yeah, and
surpassing Killer, you were saying?
Surpassing everyone in dancehall music right now, because you know from time to time you have top contenders and you have defending champions. Right now, Vybz Kartel is the defending champion.
Okay.
And no one can deny that.
But Killer does not accept that any DJ in the business, as he puts it, better than him. Where are you on that?
Well, as I said before, I'm not really here to discuss what Killer thinks or what any other artist thinks. Yes. I'm telling you what is in the mind of the people and what is out there statistically to prove that Vybz Kartel is the M-A-N.
Okay. You're the man right now. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's talk about Sting. Why didn't you want to do Sting?
Well, Sting, I didn't want to do Sting for a lot of reasons, but the main reason was monetary-wise, because, you know, over the years, Vybz Kartel and a lot of artists have lent their expertise and their talents and time to Sting without getting proper compensation monetarily.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I figured that Vybz Kartel being the MAN right now, I deserve my share of the compensation, you know what I mean?
And what is that?
It was a hefty sum, but you know what I mean? I think it was a sum that could have been paid by the promoters, based on the fact that they got a lot of sponsorship, big box sponsorship from a lot of people.
But shouldn't it be based on your pulling power? How many people can actually pull to the venue?
Vybz Kartel and Mavado can pull every single dancehall fan to Sting.
With no help from anyone else?
With no help from anyone else, and I can guarantee that.
If you're saying categorically right now, Kartel, that if you and Mavado are put on a show, the entire dancehall fan base will come out to it?
Definitely, and if you're a promoter that keeping an event that night, I think you should cancel.
Yeah.
Trust me, if Vybz Kartel and Mavado are on any dancehall event anywhere in Jamaica, it could have even been the West End, and you're keeping something on the North End, I think you should cancel.
Cancel it?
Yeah.
So what I don't know. So like Sumfest, Johnny Guzan should forget about everybody else and just drop you and Mavado on something.
No, that is not the case. But what I'm saying is that a Sumfest dancehall night without Vybz Kartel and Mavado is irrelevant. That wouldn't be a true reflection of what dancehall is and where dancehall is right now without a Vybz Kartel or the likes of a Mavado on it.
I understand that clearly. The part I'm not clear on is whether you both of you alone could do it. Because we have watched this thing over the years, and what we know is that there are some people who pull out the crowd and others who deliver to the audience.
Well,
and the crowd puller is not necessarily always
that's the deliverer.
The one who delivers.
That's true,
yes.
But we were talking about pulling the crowd, you know what I mean? Actually getting the people to pay their hard-earned cash and come into a venue. Vybz Kartel and Mavado at this point in time in dancehall music, 2011, as I'm speaking now, can do it.
Yeah, what I'm saying though, I understand very clearly that the top people, the Mavado and Vybz Kartel, are needed on the lineup to make it work.
Yeah.
But we are yet to prove that when you put the people who make it work alone on a show, they can bring out the crowd to make it happen.
We have not gotten the chance to prove that as yet.
We have seen in the past, this thing started a long time ago. This dancehall phenomenon started years ago, over 30 years ago, and we have watched it very carefully over the years. We know. I agree with you. If the top man is not on a show, it is in jeopardy. But we've also seen situations where top man go on show and it's 2000 and 2005 and less than the money they are asking for coming out.
Well, all right. Example. A few artists were Margaritaville kept a series of shows over the last month period. It was like 4 shows for 4 Saturdays in the month. The first show they used like 4 artists: Bounty Killer, I think Idonia, Chino, and I think someone else. And every week they have been using like 3 to 4 artists on the event.
Yes.
But they only had to keep it in the club, in Margaritaville club itself. Yeah. Because the turnout was basically between 500 to 800 people. The night that Vybz Kartel was on it, they had to open the beach because the crowd capacity, pre-sold tickets alone was like 3,900 people. And that is just one example of Vybz Kartel's pulling power. If you're talking about performance now, well, Vybz Kartel is working on his performance in terms of performing with a band, which is not one of my strong points. But pulling a crowd, no holds barred, Vybz Kartel is the man for the job.
Okay. It's a pity though that you didn't use the opportunity on Sting Night to prove it once and for all and to settle once and for all that argument.
But we did
into a bigger venue.
We actually did. Mavado and Vybz Kartel actually did it Sting 2008.
Hey.
With the clash of Vybz Kartel and Mavado, that was one of the biggest crowd pullers in the history of Sting.
Kartel, but more
even bigger than Bounty Killer.
A whole heap of middle order man were there. Some of the veterans were there. You cannot disregard those who.
I know, but it would be safe to say that.
Yes.
If I do say so myself, it would be safe to say that 90% of the people came out to see Vybz Kartel and Mavado showdown.
No doubt. We just talked about that. But it's a pity you didn't take a venue on the 26th of December 2010. That could, a 10,000 venue and a settle the argument once and for all.
No, but it would be the same for the same because Sting 2010 wasn't Mavado and Kartel alone. Anyways, it would still have the usual suspects. So one could not use that as a proving point.
Yes.
Nonetheless, one would have to keep Vybz Kartel and Mavado alone in a venue like Jam World, in a venue like Catherine Hall, and see the pulling power of both artists.
That is what I'd like to say.
And I can guarantee that any promoter that does that will be laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, the promoters are listening. I will see how they respond to that. But in terms of Sting, will you go back and perform for Sting? Will you?
Yeah, man. It was nothing personal, where Sting was concerned. It's business as usual, because I got 7 kids to feed.
Okay.
So it was business for Vybz Kartel.
7.
And counting.
We'll be talking about that and more after this break. Bleaching will be the topic in the next segment, right here on stage.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. On stage, so much more than entertainment.
Include up and the needle a juke.
tattoo set off, everybody have to look. Y'all say me pretty like a coloring book. She say me skin pretty like a coloring book. Y'all say them want fine when me live on her book. She asks if it hot like rice we just cook. Y'all say me pretty like a coloring book. She say me skin pretty like a coloring book. Look.
Welcome back. Vybz Kartel is our guest right now on stage, and we're talking about everything. And we're up to the point now where we talk about the big topic, which everybody's talking about across Jamaica and the dancehall space: bleaching. Kartel.
Go on.
The question is, why?
Well, Vybz Kartel, before I really get into why, I can say this about Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel is, and has always been, controversial,
yes,
outrageous, and spontaneous. You know what I mean? And one thing that one can expect from Vybz Kartel is the unexpected. Now, Vybz Kartel is a person that is a true representative of the dancehall music, which is a reflection of Jamaican lifestyle. And in Jamaican culture, you have a lot of people who bleach, which is a large minority, if I might say so myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Vybz Kartel is a representation of every single group of people within the sphere of dancehall music. Vybz Kartel is a thug, so represent for the gangsters. Vybz Kartel is an intellect, so represent for the intelligent people. Vybz Kartel see a lot of people in the society skin bleaching, and Vybz Kartel just decide that, hey, people doing it, and Vybz Kartel is for the people, is by the people, and I'm from the people. So why not?
What about the people's self-esteem?
All right, good. Well, you're finding out, Winford, with history, a lot of things change, you know, because a lot of appearance-altering practices that were once deemed controversial or even taboo,
yes,
during a certain period, no, it's just style. A perfect example would be, for example, males wearing earrings. You know that in the 17th century, if a male were to wear an earring, you were considered to be a pirate. In the 50s, a male wearing an earring, you were a homosexual. Now, a male wearing an earring, it's just trendy. So it's the same thing with bleaching. Bleaching 25 years ago meant something different than bleaching now, you know what I mean? Vybz Kartel is just a person that feel like for just get me tattoo them brilliant and more showing, and just feel like for just rub on something. It has nothing to do with anything about self-hate or a denial of the Garveyite message of blackness. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about style. And we as black people can dictate whatever style we want.
Right, but the research have shown that one of the biggest reasons why people bleach, and bleaching is happening all over the globe. Jamaica is just, it's probably way behind some other places.
True, very true.
Bleaching all over Africa.
Very true.
Asia, the US, and England and so on. And the research have shown that self-esteem is a big, big reason. Another one is social mobility. People feeling that they will get more social acceptance and more economic gains, more economic opportunities if they're light-skinned. And in a sense, aren't you run the risk of being seen as one working very hard to reverse years of work and struggle by black people to lift self-esteem?
No, I wouldn't say that, you know, because if you check black people's advancement or non-advancement thereof over centuries, and the issues for our advancement or non-advancement, skin bleaching isn't even in the top 10. You know what I mean? Black people's self-esteem or lack thereof comes from our colonial past, our past as slaves. It comes from a lack of social understanding, social awareness, a lack of education. It has nothing to do with skin bleaching. Example, Vybz Kartel. If you were to say Vybz Kartel is bleaching his skin to gain fame, Vybz Kartel has already had fame.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If to gain social mobility, Vybz Kartel is already socially mobile.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So as I said before, black people, example again, you know, Winford Williams. In the 18th, 17th century, you know, early 1900s, you know, if a black woman were to straighten her hair with hair cream or use the big iron comb straighten her hair, she was considered as somebody who was really oppressing herself and oppressing her, trying to suppress her blackness. No, it is just commonplace for a child, a man of his daughter, a woman, and she going to high school or primary school, them just scream out her ear to make it more manageable. So it has nothing to do with, no, I don't think it has anything to do with self-esteem. It is just, as I said before, style, and we as a black people, as a proud race, can just dictate style for what it is. It's just merely style. And if I'm not speaking, and for everyone in the black community, I'm definitely speaking about my views on why I do it.
Yes. But you have a lot of followers, would you say? Would you agree?
I have quite a lot.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you were quoted in an article in one of the local papers as saying that the people will respect and honor and even act on just about everything you say, certain fans. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree, but you have to understand, Winford Williams. Vybz Kartel is not the first to do anything, and I won't be the last.
Yes.
As is the case with skin bleaching.
But whether you like it or not, Vibe, you do have, and you have accepted that you have a lot of attention, the attention of the youth, the kids in particular in the inner city, who you say you're mirroring their reality. Bleaching was there way before you came along.
True.
You glamorize it. And now, and you talked about the economics. The reason why people were doing certain things back when was because of lack of education, lack of economic opportunities. Those realities are still here today. Some of these kids are not educated enough to understand.
But that would not be the fault of Vybz Kartel. That would be the fault of the system. That's what I'm trying to say. It has nothing to do with Vybz Kartel, the artist, skin bleaching. It has to do with the system.
But don't you think you have a role in that system?
No,
right?
I don't. Listen to me.
You don't have a role in
no,
you don't have a social responsibility?
No, Vybz Kartel has no social responsibility, but to deliver good quality music because I'm an entertainer.
Yes.
Note well, I'm not a social leader, nor a political leader, nor a religious leader. Vybz Kartel is an entertainer. I get paid to entertain. And all of this is entertainment.
But you are a social leader. You are a business leader too, because the Portmore Empire is a business.
It is,
and you are offering leadership.
One. Yes, I'm offering leadership through music.
Yes.
I'm offering leadership through entrepreneurship.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with being a social leader. I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with being a social leader. I always tell this to people in interviews. If you, for example, Winford Williams, looking to Vybz Kartel to be a role model for your child and to grow your child, you have already lost as a parent. And that says a lot about your parenting skills.
Isn't that part of our reality? That is a very unfortunate truth.
Very, very, very true. But that's why I'm saying all blame should be laid on the system. It has nothing to do with Vybz Kartel.
The system is not short of blame from us, from Jamaicans like myself and others. The system is not short enough.
Them could have fooled me.
But Vibe, we will agree with you that
Vybz Kartel cannot take the weight of the world on his shoulders, and I refuse to do that.
But take one little piece, man.
No, I refuse to do that. Vybz Kartel is an entertainer. I get paid to entertain. All of this, watch this. Cool, like me wash my face with the cake. So this is entertainment. At the end of the day, when Vybz Kartel goes home, Vybz Kartel is a DJ Palmer, the father, the baby father, the citizen.
Is there any danger to bleaching?
Good point. Very good point, Winford Williams. If you check the history of skin bleaching from, as my grandmother would say, war time, till this present day, 2011, no one has ever died, reported any case of skin cancer or anything related to bleaching, as is the case with cigarette smoking, car accident, prostate cancer, skin cancer, which most skin cancer and all skin cancer has nothing to do with bleaching. So if you were to weigh the facts of the danger of skin bleaching as opposed to cigarette smoking, then Vybz Kartel shouldn't be on the stand. It should be Carreras group of companies.
I have read where it causes skin cancer.
Have you proven it? It has not been proven. We can go online now and find at least 10,000 people dying every year in Jamaica from smoking cigarettes. Why isn't Carreras group of company understand? No one has died from skin bleaching, so I refuse to be put on the stand for something that I use for entertainment, because I am an entertainer. And I
Carreras is understand. Don't think that they are not. They are not.
They're not understand.
And so too are the rum people, the rum makers and alcohol makers. They are understand.
Well, that will fun. We make rum too, you know.
We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about the rum making too bad. But what do you use? You say it's cake soap. Is it cake soap for real?
Well, as I say in a lot of interviews, until the Colonel releases his secret ingredients for KFC, Vybz Kartel will hold my ingredients. a secret.
But Vibe, as far as I
You
know,
can't get it out of me, no matter what you say.
Vibe,
But no, we don't use cake soap.
you don't use cake soap.
No. And no, we don't use cake soap. So kids, stop using the cake soap.
Okay, so
You feel good now?
Well, at least, yes. And, give me that little bit. I thank you, sir, for saying that to the kids, because as far as we know, you were saying it's cake soap, and kids and people were using cake soap to see if they could
cake soap you use by your skin to keep it cool, man. But the reality of it, Winford, and I want to make this point clear again.
Yeah.
Bleaching 25 years ago is different from bleaching today. Bleaching 25 years ago said a lot about our self-esteem or lack of it. Bleaching today is all about dictation of style. And that is just my opinion, and I will stick to that opinion. It is just a dictation of style.
It is pure aesthetic, you're saying.
For Vybz Kartel. It's the same what they do with research about dancehall. Caroline Cooper and a lot of these people have some books. There are a dime a dozen books, if I may say so, who try to dissect dancehall and get into the brain of dancehall performers and the people who are fans of dancehall music. And that is total rubbish and so far distance from what is really happening in the culture. You know what I mean? So you might be saying
So
that
you're
it has
challenging the findings of the social scientists community?
Yes.
And you say you're not a leader.
I'm not a leader.
But those who are leading...
But I'm a person that I would consider myself
You're
well-read
challenging
enough.
their findings.
Yes, because I'm reading what they're writing and I'm living the experience in the street with the real people involved.
Yes.
And there's no... I can't see it. They're so far-fetched. A lot of these people writing these articles and writing these books about dancehall, they're not even in dancehall. They're not even in the real communities. They're not even around the real proponents of dancehall music.
We're going to give you some props for reading the dancehall well, because we know that for a man to be at the top of dancehall, the man who reads the streets best is going to be at the top of dancehall. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's
that is your special. That is your special. that is something we have to give you, Vibe.
Yeah,
you're reading the street very well.
Yeah, man.
All right, stay with us. Much more Vybz Kartel when we come back. In the meantime, let's hear how you feel about the issue at Facebook.com/OnStageTV and Twitter.com/OnStageTV. We'll be back.
The girl them love out the brown cute face. The girl them love out me bleach out face. Dog in a plane.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. On Stage. So much more than entertainment.
Russian favor Anglo-Saxon. Me, Michael, Cake Soap, Jackson.
Welcome back. Vybz Kartel is our guest right here on stage, and he's not denying that he's exploiting his notoriety for profit. Kartel, branding is a big thing with you.
Definitely.
In all the excitement and the controversies, you're making brands of just about everything.
True.
Including the perceived product that is used for bleaching.
Yeah, man.
Cake soap.
Yeah, man.
Is that really a brand?
Yeah, man, I have a soap coming out soon. You know what I mean? And as early as mid-April, the soap will be in stores. Yeah, man, it's actually a skin toning soap with all the legal requirements that a skin toning soap should have. You know what I mean? To pass the Jamaica Bureau of Standards.
Okay.
And whatever. Yeah, it's a very
I was wondering about
very
that.
legal ingredients in it. Very legal. You know what I mean? And that is what I'm trying to explain to a lot of people. When Vybz Kartel came up with this bleaching concept, I knew what was going to happen. I knew the heat that was going to come on Vybz Kartel. I knew the detractors were going to say this. I knew the fans were going to say that. But I did it nonetheless. Because Vybz Kartel always has an ulterior motive for doing what I do.
Yes.
Vybz Kartel does everything precisely to achieve a desired result.
There's a social cost, but we're not going to debate more about that. There's a social cost about that.
Yeah, monetary cost outweighs it as such.
Yeah, but Vibe, and everything a man must want make money from, you know. And that I know a lot of your people out there watching right now are going to say that you are trying to make money from just about everything.
But nothing is wrong with
people are being hurt by these exploits.
Yeah, but as I said before today, no one has been hurt by anything related or even remotely related to skin bleaching, as opposed to a lot of products on the market that are actually killing people. You know what I mean? But as you said before, let's move on.
The debate continues. All right. Talk about the shoe line. Is this one of them right here?
Addies.
Yes? How is that going?
Well, it's actually in production right now. This is just a sample. I got a few samples for Vybz Kartel and the Gaza people. I gave away a few samples in the building. You know what I mean? And we've been getting crazy comments and response from it. 99% positive. You know, you still have the negatives from a few, whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But all of the comments so far has been 100% positive.
Vybz Rum, we remember busting it on stage right here about 4 years ago.
Yeah, on stage. That is why...
When you brought it the first time. And
that was Vybz Rum. It was rather expensive because we were trying to run a competition with some high-end alcoholic beverages, and we didn't do as well. So we decided to go back to the drawing board and reshuffle a few cards in the deck, and we came up with the Street Vybz Rum. Cheaper and more marketable for the fans in the streets.
Where is it made?
Street Vybz Rum, it is made in Jamaica, for Jamaica, by Jamaica.
But aren't you a manufacturer, a competitor as well?
Well, we used to manufacture, somebody used to manufacture it for us, but they were making too much money off it. You know what I mean? They were actually doubling our money that we were making, so we decided to open our own factory.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so we buy the product directly from the distillers now, and we bottle it ourselves at the Street Vybz factory.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and by doing that, we employ a lot of Jamaicans.
So all the brands are going well, Kartel. Some are to come.
Some are to come.
So when you have an event at the building sponsored by Street Vybz Rum, is it the only rum in the building, or could people get the other rums?
It's the only rum in the building, you know. But you can get like vodka, you can get cognac, you can.
But is it outselling the rest of the stuff in there?
Yeah, man. Undoubtedly, because remember, you know, when people come to the building, you know, 90% of the people that come to the building are Gaza fans. The other 10 are people that swing both sides, are just there for entertainment. So everybody comes to the building to listen dancehall music, hear some Vybz Kartel, drink some Street Vybz Rum. You know what I mean? So it is.
Are they drinking it elsewhere in the space?
Yeah, man, definitely. And I have to say big up to Mobi, because separate and apart from Kingston, Mobi are the largest consumers of the product.
Mobi burn it.
Them deal with it like water.
Eh?
Yeah, man. Burning it up, man.
So what are your projections for the shoe line and the soap? Have you made a projection, a target about markets and volumes?
Well, we're still working on that right now, you know what I mean, because we haven't really had everything down to the final T. We haven't dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's as yet, but we're working on that, you know what I mean. We're on the drawing table, my partners and I, and because the soap venture is between myself and a different partner than the one I'm doing with the sneakers. You know what I mean? So my partners and I, we are currently on the drawing table right now, coming up with the marketing strategy and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. So so what do you have? An empire of business professionals. Do you have that? A business team who are doing these things? Or?
Yeah, man, but you know, Vybz Kartel has a hand in everything.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Nothing can really happen without Vybz Kartel signing off on it. You know
so
what I mean?
You're really CEO? Hands-on in this
Hands-on, man. Vybz Kartel has a hand in everything, you know what I mean? I can't just leave things up to people to do. But I must say, for the record, that Corey Todd is a remarkable partner. And he's a marketing genius.
Okay.
Yeah, man, straight up. Big up, Corey.
So when people saying, Kartel, that you can't travel, you can't go to markets to earn money as an artist, you're making a lot of money from brands.
I'm making a lot of money from even stage shows. I wonder if the tax man listen. But what I'm saying, Vybz Kartel cannot travel to North America, which includes Canada. Vybz Kartel travels to the Caribbean islands on a regular basis. We do South America, we do Europe. You know what I mean?
You're free to go to Europe?
Yeah, man. I recently did
not Britain?
Yeah, not Britain. We actually going to Britain this June.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
clearance for Britain?
Yeah, man. We're actually going. It was just a mix-up with some signing of some papers and some legal documents and whatnot. It was just a overall mix-up within certain bureaucratic levels. But we good. You know what I mean? And Vybz Kartel, we're just doing music.
So how long has it been since you've been to Britain?
A long time, you know. About 4 to 5 years, you know.
So this is a big coming for you in Britain?
Big. This is bigger than the wedding between Princess Kate and Prince William right now in Vybz.
You know what a DJ said to me? A white DJ. She's a music personality, a media personality in London. She said to me, and I think we broadcast it. It was in a piece that we did from London. She said that you are one of the most talented persons that she has ever seen. But you don't know why you're self-destructing. Not her exact word, but more or less what she's saying. That they read and listen to all your work and so on, but she can't understand why you seem to be self-destructing. How do you respond?
I can't understand either because I don't see it. Maybe she has her opinions as to why she said that, and
you're always
such,
all right. Let me tell you why.
Give me an example.
She's saying that because you're always into some kind of run-ins with the law. You are. It is rumored that you are a don, and you're rolling with dons and really promoting gangsterism, and those are the main reasons. And some of the lyrics, some of the things you say in lyrics.
Well, as far as it goes, when you talk about a Don, Wilford Williams, you'll always hear that about successful entertainers because we are all from garrison communities. And as such, when we do not turn our backs on our friends from the communities that we are from, we will be labeled as Dons. You know what I mean? But I have never done anything. Vybz Kartel police record is clean, and I have never done anything that warranted me to be in any inquiry, such as Manhattan Phelps, but that is topic for another interview. So you got to balance when you say who is a Don and what is a Don.
No. A lot of people in Jamaica, you know the rumors. They say you are a Don and that you're more so than you are an artist because you're very talented as an artist.
So if I'm so talented as an artist, that means me supposed to be the baddest Don in Jamaica then. Because if I'm more Don than an artist and I'm such a talented and popular artist, that means that I am a mafia.
Are you?
No, I'm not. Vybz Kartel is just a good citizen of Jamaica who has a clean criminal record, never been convicted of anything before. If you check my police record, it's clean. You know what I mean? We have no ties linking us to any Donship. Everything is just rumored because Vybz Kartel is a person who stays close to his community where I'm from. I'm from Waterford, everybody knows that. We stay close to the community, we stay close to people from the community because that is just Vybz Kartel. We would never turn our backs on the community. So that is why we get that label.
What about the cult? That you're a member of a cult?
Which, alright, a lot of people say Vybz Kartel sell his soul to the devil. I would like to know how the selling of one's soul to the devil go. Like if you put out an ad in the Gleaner saying soul for sale, good condition, you know what I mean, and the devil contacts you, he writes a check or he gives you a manager's check and you change it. I want to know how that goes because that is news to me. I don't know how somebody can sell his soul to the devil.
Okay.
Does the devil have a bank account?
But are you a member of a group of Freemasonry?
No, I'm not a member of any group of Freemasons, but what is Freemasonry? Nothing is wrong with Freemasonry.
Okay.
Masons build the earth. That's why if you look on a Freemason ring, you see the compass and the square. Because that is what built the earth. The earth is built from lines and circles.
Do you believe in God?
Vybz Kartel is a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. So when you say believe in God, if you mean Jesus, I'm not a religious person like that.
God in the context of Christendom, of Christianity?
No, I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in Buddhism. I don't believe in Islam. Because to me, religion is division. It's just one more thing to divide people. Religious wars are the most violent wars in history. And it can be proven with even the recent 9/11 attacks in New York City. That is a religious war.
Is there a supreme being in your consciousness?
My supreme being would be life. Life is the ultimate because life is ever continuing. That's why the world is a circle. Because anything that is circular is always mobile. Life goes on. Vybz Kartel comes on the earth as kids. Vybz Kartel dies. His kids grow up, have kids, they die, and so on and so on. So I believe in life. Not in any one religious being or saying Jesus or saying I'm going to believe in Buddha, I'm going to believe in Allah. You know what I mean? Because when Vybz Kartel travels the world, I've been to Japan, millions of people in Japan, they don't know about Jesus. They have their own God. So in the Christian view, all of those people when they die, they would be going to hell. And in the Japanese view, all the Christians when they die, they would be going to hell. So that in itself alone is confusion. So I stay far. Rastafari is a way of life. Rastafari is a way of life that is more acceptable to somebody like Vybz Kartel. It's not a religion, it's a way of life.
So you don't think it offers the spiritual fulfillment that many seek?
All right, in life, a lot of people seek answers for a lot of things that they can't answer. That is why religion is so viable. But viable to who? Mainly to the pastors who profit from the people's faith. Because they say faith is the evidence of things hoped for, and the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. That is what people put them life
So
towards.
those who call on Jah are false, are just making noise, this lifestyle, you say?
It's just a way of life. It's not a religion in terms of, all right, when I die, I'm going to go to heaven. As a matter of fact, remember Rastafari don't even preach death, they preach life eternal. So how can one have life eternal if it is not, as I said it, by procreating?
I would like to see a debate with you and some of these religious leaders.
I would love it. Tell Ian Pine come now.
Including Rastafari. All right, there you have it. More to comment on at facebook.com/OnStageTV and twitter.com/OnStageTV. When we come back, we'll be talking to Vybz about family, about music, about dropping a song every day, and now he's looking to do like a video every day. Right here on stage when we come back.
When the ink load up and the needle a juke, tattoo sell off, everybody a fi look. Gyal say me pretty like a coloring book. She say me skin pretty like a coloring book. Gyal say them want find when me live on our book.
Reaching more and more screens around the world every week. On stage. So much more than entertainment.
Straight jeans and fitted in a white t-shirt, we did it.
Welcome back. We're now down to the final stretch in this long interview with the teacher, Vybz Kartel. And now we're going to talk about family. But first, Kartel, we'd like you to respond to this clip from the Gargamel Bujubanton. Here we go.
Vybz Kartel is a man. Him stimulate me Evans with the music. If only him could have realized where him have.
Yes.
And turn the spanner anti-clockwise and then turn it in the right direction.
Your response, Kartel?
Well, when a man like Buju Banton say Vybz Kartel stimulates his heavens with his music, I take that as like a great compliment. You know what I mean? Especially based on the fact that Vybz Kartel was and still is an ardent Buju Banton fan. At one point, my name was Adi Banton before I even was in the music. Any one of my friends can attest to that. Vybz Kartel's name was Adi Banton.
How much you admired Buju?
Yeah, man. Trust me. So, for Buju Banton to say that, it's a very accomplished feeling for Vybz Kartel.
And what about the last part of what you
Well, Vybz Kartel can only be Vybz Kartel, you know. I cannot be what you want me to be or what he, she, or the old lady wants me to be. I have to be true to myself and just be Vybz Kartel. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, well, Tom is the next Bob Marley, or Tom is the next Bounty Killer, or Tom is the next this. I am the first Vybz Kartel.
Okay.
I can't be the next this or the next that. I got to be me.
All right, let's talk quickly about your roots. Kartel, you were born where?
I was born in Kingston, Jubilee. Grew up in Portmore, Waterford.
Yeah, went to school?
Went to school, Waterford Infant, Waterford Primary, Calabar High School. Got expelled, not for educational reasons, for the truancy, skull school style. Always been hanging around at studios all over Kingston.
Start get bad early.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But we finished our education at Tutorial College, which was a private high school, because my father was adamant that I had to graduate.
Yeah, what was the family structure like?
Family structure, both parents, you know what I mean? One brother, 4 sisters. Normal family life.
Same?
Yeah, man.
So you were brought up in a fairly stable home?
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Both parents, man. Married and be things, man.
So how did they feel about your rebelliousness at teenage?
Well, my father and I were always at odds, you know, because my father wanted me to. My father is the type of man that don't want to give a show for unsure. So he was always adamant that we get an education. You know what I mean? Try to get at least a trade. You know what I mean? If we weren't making it in the education. But from a tender age, Vybz Kartel knew that my calling was music. And it was like my mother saw that, because she always encouraged me to do anything where music was concerned. Like even when I would sneak out to go out late, and at the age of 13 and 14 to stage shows, and my father didn't want to let me in, my mother would curse him and say, let in the boy, wait. And so my mother was always supportive of me being a musician, because she had brothers who were my uncles, who were also aspiring DJs. They really never made it in the business, but they were also one of my early influences.
So does she support you now in this
100%.
controversy about bleaching?
My mom supports me 100% in everything that I do. You know what I mean? As long as it is within the confines of the law.
Where's the rest of your family, including your father?
My father still together, they're in Portmore. Oh, you mean on the topic?
On the topic,
Well,
yes.
my father and I, we haven't really discussed it, you know, because my father is always a man. Up to this day, he's always a man. Working, you know what I mean? 6 days a week. That is where Vybz Kartel get the work ethics from.
Okay.
To work in music.
But the kind of money you're making now, maybe you should retire.
No, that the man there. Remember, I bought my mother a house. I buy me. Yeah, them get everything from a house, car, everything. But my father is just a man. He loves to work.
Okay.
So that is where Vybz Kartel got the work ethics from, to just work in the music. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, but we haven't spoken on any of these controversial topics.
Really?
No.
You haven't heard anything negative
because
from any member of your family?
No, and they wouldn't say anything negative about their brother. You know what I mean? Because to them, I'm not Vybz Kartel. I was Addy.
What about your kids? 7 of them, you say, right? The oldest is
oldest about 8.
8?
Yeah.
What would you say to them about bleaching? What would you say to your son, right? The first one is a son?
That's son.
Would you encourage your son to bleach?
No, he's too young.
Too young for it?
Yeah, when a child reaches 18 years old, they can do anything they want, you know. Because by then he's an adult, both legally and socially.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And he will have, because I send them to good school, so they will have a mindset to choose whatever they want to choose.
Okay, so, but if it is not...
I'm going to dally around the question.
If it is not destroying and it is not as risky health-wise and if it does no harm, why would you prevent him from bleaching?
No, I never said I would prevent him.
You wouldn't?
No, because remember a lot of products that I know you drink alcohol, but you wouldn't let your 8-year-old son drink it. Yeah. So it's the same. That's why I said when a child reaches the age...
So it does have some side effects, some negative.
When a child reaches the age to do what they want to do without a parent's consent...
Yes.
Then he will be free to do whatever he wants to do. But judging from the mindset of my child, he will do what he wants to do because I see an entertainer in him from early. So he will do what he wants to do.
But so do you have a discussion with them, your kids, about this?
No, Winford, because my kids, they're really too young to really... My kids don't even know what is going on, in terms of the controversy, this whole controversy.
Keep them out of it?
Yeah, man. Because my kids, they go to school, they come home, they have to do them homework, you know what I mean, and them get them playtime after bed, and the routine over and over and over, 5 days a week. And the weekend...
So you don't want them to be exposed to this vibe?
My kids have to grow in how my parents grew me. I was brought up a disciplined child. I never knew how I got so wild.
Yeah?
But seriously though, I was brought up in a fairly decent, or pretty decent parenting method, and that is the same parenting method I apply to my children. You know what I mean? But that's why I said before, I'm an entertainer and I'm an adult. So I am an adult, I can do whatever I want. So a lot of what I do, it has nothing to do with how I was raised. I think I was raised very well. You know what I mean?
Hence why, Kartel, no, I mean, we could talk about this forever, because I'm not going to concede that it's right to bleach.
So easy. All right.
Cannot concede that point there, Kartel, because it is why, because you were a protected girl, you had both parents around, you had the family structure that protected you, and there are so many of our kids, so many of them on the streets, not having this cushion, this family around them who can guide and protect them, and so on. And they're out there begging for support, begging for guidance, and they're being told that it's okay to bleach. And this is where the damage, I think, I mean, those poor parents who are delinquent themselves and have kids and so on.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean, but that's why I'm trying to say that the broader... The wider blame, the real blame should be laid on the system and not on any one person, particularly Vybz Kartel, who is someone who came along, saw what was happening, and people will continue to bleach long after Vybz Kartel is gone. You and I know that well. So why now in Vybz Kartel time would I want the weight of the world on my shoulders? I refuse to take that. You know what I mean? I refuse to be that martyr.
Take a little piece of it. All right, let's move on to music. You're dropping music, Vybz. Vybz Kartel, you're dropping records like every day. I hear you do a song every day.
Yeah, man. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3.
Every single day?
Every single day. Yeah, man, every single day. Because as I said before, I got my work ethics from my father. I'm a person who's always in the studio. Ask any one of my friends, any one of my associates, they can tell you. I love music so much, I set up a little makeshift thing in my house. So as I get an idea, I can just lay down the idea and then I bring it to a studio.
Yes.
Yeah, or I just lay down the idea and the voice note in my phone. That's how much I love music.
Aren't you running the risk of being overexposed? Too much of you?
No, I wouldn't say that. Dancehall music is a very current music, you know. Much like hip hop, you know. So, whereas an R&B artist can put out an album January 2010, do a few singles, a few videos, and drop a next album January 2012. It's not the case with dancehall music. Dancehall is a current art form, meaning this week Clarks will be the hot shoes, next week is Polo. So you DJing about Clarks this week and don't do a next song next 5 years time. By the time you come around, it's a whole different happening is happening in dancehall.
Okay, and you've exploited that quite well. And as we said and conceded and explained earlier, you read the street very well.
Yeah.
You know the street, and that's why you're successful. Yeah. But I still don't see how you're going to be able to maintain this. Your sound. Okay, so you probably won't ever run out of lyrics or things to comment about.
Never.
But won't your sound be a little bit expired after a while?
Good point. And if you check Vybz Kartel's initial entry into dancehall, 2002, when Vybz Kartel came out with songs like Batman, look man, and some flows like that, as to Vybz Kartel flow now, you would see a change. Because Vybz Kartel, that is how I always stay relevant to what is happening in dancehall. Vybz Kartel always changes, not the skin tone.
The
musical construct as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vybz Kartel always strives to be relevant, to maintain that relevancy among the youth. Because a teenager in 2002 is not a teenager now.
Yes.
He's an adult, a young adult.
Yes.
So Vybz Kartel has new teenagers now to control. So I have to remain relevant to them and to their...
For how long?
Well, for as long as
they want you?
No,
you want
for
them?
as long as I can.
You can.
As long as
Because
I
they
can.
will decide when to dismiss you, right?
Yeah, because the power ultimately always rests with the people.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish the people would figure that out where politics is concerned, but that is a debate for our next interview. But the power ultimately always rests with the people.
Whether it be politics or government or
government,
church.
religion, anything. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Straight up.
So you're humbly accepting and basking in your moment now.
Basking in my moment with cake soap as the sun time.
Knowing that the day will come when you will be dismissed like everybody else.
Yeah, man, because, and that is, good point. That is why it is business as usual for Vybz Kartel. Nothing personal, as how a lot of other artists take it. That's why a lot of artists in Vybz Kartel running the place now and trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. Their 15 minutes of fame gone a long time, and no matter what they do, it can't come back. It's Vybz Kartel time now, and you have to accept that when it is not my time, I will accept that and retire gracefully.
Yes.
Unlike a lot of these other dinosaurs in the business.
Where you're heading, Vibe, what will make you self-actualize? When will you say, I have achieved everything that I set out to achieve?
Well, I don't know, because I recently did a survey on the world's 1,000 billionaires, and I think the youngest billionaire is like 53 years old. So in that spectrum, I think Vybz Kartel is fairly young, and we are still searching. You know what I mean?
For the billions.
Not necessarily for the billions, but searching.
Yes.
That is the mode that Vybz Kartel is in right now. Whether you want to say spiritually,
yes,
financially, musically, Vybz Kartel is just in a searching mode right now.
So don't be surprised. You will condemn some of what you've done now in a future time.
Let's wait and see now.
All right, at least, Vybz Kartel, Blanche.
Yeah, man, respect. Yeah, man.
Nice chat. We appreciate your coming and talking to us so candidly about so many issues. We hope to that we've been able to ask all the questions that you out there wanted us to ask of Vybz Kartel. I am Winfred Williams on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for something big right here on stage.
Oh.
Hi, thanks for watching our video. Hope you have enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking right here and enjoy so much more where that came from.
People gone insane musically, as if them insane like musically. Hey, we come through, we done the party, me just can't help myself, I feel so.